All right. Here's the coding part. Um, so this is the IOC file, the configurations. I believe this is hmm, these two. Yeah, I think these two are default, and these two are there because I previously configured the high speed crystal. I was using 72 megahertz, and so that was left in here. Now I changed it to yeah 8 megahertz, so it's fine. You can just ignore these two. And these four pins are the oh yeah, and this one is the ADC because previously the previous clamp out design required an ADC pins, and that's why I have it here. You can just ignore it. I'm not using it in this design. And these four, the PA0 to PA3, they're all physically next to each other on the blue pill. They are the one that is controlling the servo motor. System core wise, yeah, the crystal thing, it's not necessary. And system serial wire, yeah, and the DMA thing, it's for the ADC, GPIO, is PC13, the blinky one. So it's really, yeah, and there's a timer to global interrupt. I think it's automatically configured once I set up the timer. And this is the system core setting. And the ADC, we can just ignore it. And here's the timer. So on timer 2, I configure it as internal clock and all four channel I selected to PWM generation. And yeah, I think there's no DMA. And I think these are, yeah, the parameter setting. It's just PWM mode 1. Yeah, alpha compare thing enable CH polarity high, something like that. Yeah, it's really bare bone and basic. Yeah, and no other parts configure or defaults. Clock configuration 8 megahertz as just as the rest of our system. Okay, and let's move on to another part of the um, of my code, which is these two library. It's not originally included. We have to manually add it, which we can do by I think yeah there's a thing to add. Like, there's the option of adding a library in here. Mm, I forgot how to do it. But then these are all on my GitHub branch, Alan's branch, and we're primarily using the servo motor library inside this ECUAL library, and I do have to configure something in here. For example, oh yeah, here I have to change for 4 channel. I have to change the servo motor number to 4, and have to input the parameters for every servo motor for initialization. And see, here's the pin assignment, and here's the channel assignment, assigning to channel 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. and the clock rate it's here, 8 megahertz. And the low band and high band here, it's different for every servo motor. So for servo, this is really hard to this is usually found on the data sheets, but since this one it's from a Chinese manufacturer and they do not have a really clear data sheet. So basically I find this by trial and error, experimenting with the numbers. Yeah. And this is the setup part. The math thing, I'm not sure if we're using this but it's good to include it since in the servo motor library it does do some kind of calculation to get the PWM signal, so I include this library anyway. All right, and to the main.c. First of all, I have to include the servo motor.h inside here, and here's just some parameter for tuning. This is initializing the servo motor number 0, 1, 2, 3 and corresponding to the pins number. And here's the on the clamp angle. So these are the value that we have to tune for every single servo motor since there's some variation in the manufacturer, and yeah, have to tune those individually. Nothing special other than that. And here's the part I wrote of channel selecting. It's really simple. It just takes a integer, yeah, an integer from integer and just select the corresponding channel and set it to open, which is 20 degrees, and the other to close, which is the tuned angled here. So this part are for closing the clamp, and this part is for opening the clamp. All right, and this is the user-defined function. You can just call it when you're using it. And here to the main function. First thing I have to do is to initialize the servo motor. Yeah, and then into the while loop, here's the blinky. It's not necessary, we can just remove it. And here's the part that we cycle through the fluid channel 0, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, it's best to add a halt delay right after it for 500 milliseconds. And yeah, I think that's it. So when you want to select channel whatever, just call channel select and input the number in here, or yeah, basically that's it.